Banner Knowledge Bowling and Steve here coming you with the next Pro Tip Tuesday. But before we get started, you're not a subscriber, please do so. Grab a friend, let's grow the channel. So I want to talk about quickly, last week we talked about plan your work and work your plan. And I've been asked, Steve, what are some of your practice plans? So I thought I'd jump right into that. As you know, I love spare shooting. I think it's so important, and when you're in a tournament in your leagues, making those spares, really make those doubles and triples count. So I always practice my spares, and I do it a couple of different ways. One way that I'll do it is, and it can have a full rack, it doesn't matter to me. I'll shoot the 10 pin, the 7 pin, then the next frame, I'll shoot the 3 pin and the 2 pin. And then I'll repeat, I'll go 10, 7, 3, 2. And I really start to get comfortable on, where I need to stand, how I'm holding the ball, and where I need to slide so that I can make those pins. But what I really like to do is I look at the key pin. So I'll focus on the key pin, which might be the 10 pin, or the 6 pin, or the 3 pin, or the 1 pin, 2, 4, and 7. And I try to hit those pins on the right side, in the middle, and on the left side of the pin. So I'll start with the 10 pin, I'll try to go right, middle, left, and I'll go right down, right up the line, and I'll go back down the other side. And let me tell you why I do that, and let's use the 2 pin as an example. I'm going to work on where do I need to stand and how do I hold the ball so that I can throw and I can hit the right side of the 2 pin. That helps me make the 2 pin. It might help me make like the 2-7. It might help me make the 2-4-8, for example. And by hitting it in the middle, I'm going to learn how to hit the 2 pin right in the middle, but that may help me make the 1-2-10, for example. And if I can hit the 2 pin all the way on the left side, that may help me make the 2, the 2-4, the 2-4-7, the 2-10. So you can see how when you work on hitting the pin on the right, the middle, and the left, whatever the key pin is, the 6 pin, the 3 pin, the 1 pin, the 2 pin, that you can really get comfortable doing that. And when you're in competition and you have a split and you have that 2-4-10 and you know that you can hit that left side of the 2 pin, you know where to stand and you have that confidence and you know how to hold the ball, you're just going to be that much more confident and much more likely to convert when you're in the pressure situation. So I always devote time in my practice sessions to shooting spares. But some other things that I do in my practice sessions, for example, I might take 3 balls with me to practice, and what I'll do, I'll go and I'll try to strike with that ball I'll pick the first ball and I'll try to strike using the first arrow. Then I'll try to strike using the second arrow, then the third, then the fourth, then the fifth, maybe even the sixth. And then I'll go to the next ball and I'll do the same thing, and maybe I'll even do it with my spare ball. That teaches me all kinds of different releases so that I can get the ball down the lane so that it strikes. It teaches me where to stand and how to get comfortable playing a bunch of different lines. Again, I'm doing this so that I can translate what I'm working on in my practice session to when I need to do it in competition. Another thing that I might do in my practice is I like to try to practice a pressure situation. It's not always as easy to do, but you can do it. For example, maybe I try to make 10 pins in a row before I can leave. Or I try to take off a full rack, only the 10 pin and only the 7 pin. Or I try to strike with each ball that I brought from a different arrow that I predetermined. One with the first arrow, one with the third arrow, one with the fourth arrow, for example. And maybe I'll use the ball that would best be suited for the fourth arrow on the first arrow. And until I get those 3 strikes, I can't finish my practice session. I might ask a friend to come with me, and we might simulate a 10th frame where, we're within 1 pin of each other, and if I triple out, I can shut out my opponent. Or my opponent doubles and gets a 7, and now I need to double and get an 8 to try to win. So by creating the situation that has a little bit of pressure, when you're in your league or when you're in your tournament and you start to feel that, you're going to know what it felt like because you've done it so many times in practice. And that's the key. When we start making our plans, what we want to do is we want to be able to translate what we worked on in our practice session so that we can make it go and use that when we're in the heat of competition. Because when we're in the heat of competition, we don't want to be thinking and trying to do something. What we want to do is we want to put ourselves in the right position to do it, and that way I feel like I make that decision, I'm going to do it, I feel like I have a positive thought in my mind, and this is what I'm going to do. So how do you practice? What are some of your methods? Put them in the comments below and we'll chat about it. Thanks a lot.